What's new, crew? If you're new, my name is Cassandra. Welcome back to my channel. What you don't know is I just filmed this video and then accidentally immediately deleted it. So this is round 2 of my December meal plan. So we're gonna kind of just spitfire this because I don't know how much longer my baby is going to nap. But we are going to do some sort of sub, probably like just lunch meat sub. I'm gonna do this earlier in the month, probably the exact day I go grocery shopping, because everything's gonna be fresh and really ready to go. We're gonna do a mac and cheese meatloaf. I found a recipe on Pinterest where it's like you put your meatloaf on the bottom, you put it in the oven. While that's baking, you make your mac and cheese, pull your meatloaf out of the oven, top it with mac and cheese, put it back in the oven. And it's like this meatloaf casserole. It looks so good. I think my kids will really like it, and a lot of leftovers will happen with that meal. We're gonna do salmon bites. I'm looking to find different recipes for my salmon so that we can eat it more often. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. We're gonna do a sweet and sour meatball. Found this recipe on Pinterest. Calls for like peppers and onions and really simple sweet and sour sauce. And I think it's gonna be really good. It's something that I can also make in my crock pot, which I'm excited about. I wanted to have some easier meals or like some more hands-off meals just for days where I'm really busy. A lot of our time this month in the kitchen is going to be Christmas candies and cookies and like making gingerbread houses, and plus my kids, my school-aged kids, a lot like your kids, are going to be home for like 2 weeks out of the month. So I wanted to have some easy things for busier days. We're going to do a chicken pot pie topped with biscuits. I found this recipe because I was looking for things that I could make in my cast iron skillets. I want to get into using those more often. We're gonna do chili. Nobody ever complains with a good batch of chili, and this is a really great weekend meal. I can make it at like lunchtime on a Saturday and we can eat it all weekend long. We're gonna do a brown sugar pork chop. Still have a lot of pork in my freezers, so we're gonna start working through those a little bit. But yeah, delicious. We'll probably pair that either with rice or a mashed potato and some sort of vegetable as always. We're gonna do some sort of quesadilla. We'll probably do the queso chicken quesadillas that we've been doing the last couple of months. Those are so good, and I kind of wanna make extra. That way when the kids are off for Christmas break, I can whip it out as a really easy lunch. I would love to have it all assembled, like the quesadillas assembled. That way I can just put them in the oven and kind of heat them up. But if not, I would love to have like the extra chicken in the freezer. That way I can top it with nachos or something like that. We're gonna do burgers of some sort. We might do pizza burgers. We might do like Italian, or not Italian, but like Thousand Island, kind of like a Big Mac style burger. We might do sliders, something like that, but some sort of burger. We're gonna do a one-pot Cajun pasta. I found this recipe a couple months ago on Pinterest. I think we ate it once, and it's been a while, so we're gonna do it again. Same kind of theme. It's like a one-pot meal. Really easy cleanup for a really busy day. I think that'll be good. We're gonna do a teriyaki chicken casserole. We're also gonna do a deep dish pizza. Deep dish pizzas have become a favorite around here. We either make it in our cast iron skillet. That will make the crust very crispy. But if you want it to stay soft and fluffy, make it in a lasagna pan, just like a ceramic pan or a glass pan. And it's a lot more filling with the deep dish, obviously, but we usually still make 2 pizzas, and then it'll leave us with a couple leftovers for the next day. We are going to do chicken fajitas. We prepped chicken fajitas. They're in the freezer ready to go, so I can put those in the oven. I can put them in a crock. Really excited to have those just as an easy meal for the month. We're gonna do 3 soups this month. We're gonna do a broccoli cheddar soup, one of my family's favorites. We are also going to do the Olive Garden creamy gnocchi soup. That is another one of my family's favorites. Then we're also going to do a cowboy stew. I had this on the meal plan last month. It didn't get made, it just got skipped over. So we're going to do that this month because I still have everything for it. And then we'll just spread those soups out, probably do like 1 soup a week through the month of December, just so we're not eating like soup after soup after soup. We're going to do sloppy joes. During canning season, I canned a bunch of sloppy joe mix and we haven't tried it yet. So I want to give that a go. That'll be another thing I make in the crock pot. That'll be perfect for a really busy day. We have a couple family gatherings this month before Christmas. We're getting some of the nieces and nephews together. We're doing gingerbread houses and cookie decorating and things like that. So that'll be a good meal to have maybe when I have some of the nieces and nephews over. I can put it in the crock pot, and then whenever anyone's hungry, they can make themselves a sandwich and grab a handful of chips or something. We are going to do a honey soy chicken. One of our favorite chickens, go-to, it's favorite. Just kind of mix everything together, put it in the oven, make some rice in the Instant Pot, and it's a really easy meal. We are going to do some sort of wraps. Our favorite wraps is like a BLT wrap. We'll probably do that earlier in the month as well, with lots of loaded fresh vegetables, and it's just delicious. Maybe some homemade mayo. We're gonna do a chicken rice casserole. This is a new one for me. I just found it on Pinterest this morning, but it doesn't call for any ingredients that are special. It just has everything that I typically buy anyways. So we're gonna add that to the rotation. We're gonna do a homemade hamburger helper. I want to try this because I want to try doing some of those hamburger helpers in a jar that have been floating around, but I'm not going to bother doing the hamburger helpers in a jar if we make the homemade hamburger helper and my kids don't go for it. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a honey garlic stir fry. So delicious. Makes lots of leftovers as well, so it's a good meal to have for like lunch the next day because it's almost better as it sits. It's delicious. We're going to do a roasted trout. I love roasted trout. My kids love roasted trout. We're going to pair that with like mashed potatoes and gravy and some sort of roasted vegetable. It's delicious. I'm gonna try to film that for you guys because I've gotten questions on that over the last couple of weeks as I've been talking more about the roasted trout, or maybe in my freezer tours you've seen some of the whole trout. So maybe over Vlogmas I can do a video on that, but it's really simple and really delicious. We're also going to do just a regular fish fry. That's something that my husband kind of takes over, and I'm his helper in the kitchen, and we work together and get it done. We love to pair that with like baked beans and fries, and we'll make homemade tartar sauce, and it's phenomenal. It's a really good meal. Everybody really likes it. So I have 3 leftover meals for the month. A lot of these meals that we just talked about, really just spitfiring, are going to make a lot of leftovers. I like to keep my leftovers for lunches. They're easy to pack for my husband. They're easy for me to eat here with my kids who are home. When you're making 3 meals a day from scratch, as much as you can, it can be a lot of time in the kitchen, a lot of cleaning up in the kitchen, so it makes my time in the kitchen much more enjoyable and a lot less stressful. If I have like 1 meal during the day, I don't even have to worry about it, and you're just heating things up. And that's lunch for us, which is why I plan for 31 dinners with a 31-day month. I'm hosting 2 Christmases this month. I host my husband's family, who is a very large family. My husband's one of 7 siblings. There's like 40 people, just an immediate family, and it's always growing because we're always having more babies. I think just this year alone, we had 4 babies born this year, which sounds crazy, which is like every 3 months we're adding a new human to our family. So it can get really, it's just a lot. So my Christmas meal plan for my husband's family is very traditional, stuffing potatoes, all that stuff. That's how everybody likes it. I'm not talking about my Christmas meal plan in this video. It's gonna be a whole separate video. Then for my family, which I also host, there's 11 people total, so it's very small. It's very intimate, and because my family gets that traditional Christmas dinner everywhere else, we always do an ethnic kind of Christmas. So last year we did Chinese. This year we decided on Mexican. And everyone in my family can cook really well, so it's always like a delicious spread. My dad always brings a homemade cheesecake, which is just to die for because my dad's cheesecakes are amazing. So we're gonna do that, but that'll be a completely separate video. But because I'm hosting both of those, we are going to have leftovers from 2 different Christmases. So for the rest of the month, we're just gonna eat off of the leftovers from both Christmases. Just heating things up. I will kind of figure out what I have left over and kind of whip together different meals. Sometimes, every time after a holiday, we take the leftover ham, and the next morning we make like fried egg and ham sandwiches. That's my husband's favorite part of any holiday. You can ask him, he'll always say that. So we always do that, but I figured I could do like a cordon bleu casserole with some of the leftover ham. We always do a turkey pot pie with the leftover turkey. So lots of ideas, but that's my dinners. For lunches, because my kids are gonna be home if we don't have leftovers, I wanted to have a couple things that I could have to have different options. So I came up with a fried rice. I'll leave that protein list. The only protein in it will be the scrambled eggs and the fried rice. We'll do homemade pizzas, roll-ups, nachos, homemade Lunchables. I always have stuff for sandwiches, whether that be peanut butter and any of the jams that we have on the shelf, or meat and cheese, just depending on the child. And then of course, grilled cheese and tomato soup. That is hands down our favorite here. We like to pair that with a side salad or carrots or something like that, but really Spitfire. Take two, that is my meal plan for the month of December. Some lunch items in there, just some different things. Make sure you subscribe because later in Vlogmas, we are going to be talking about the Christmas meal plan for both Christmases that I'm going to be hosting. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. And I'll get you guys in a little bit.